Alright, so let's talk about semicolons. Semicolon obviously looks like a colon, but it's kind of like a colon, but not really. That's why it's a semicolon. I guess that's why it's called that. In any case, semicolons are it's just another way of writing sentences because, you can write the same sentence in so many different ways. And semicolons another way of combining two sentences that are related in meaning, right? There has to be closely related meaning, and it should be independent clause, semicolon, independent clause, period, right? And if you don't know what this is, you should look at the basic sentence structure lectures, because it's the foundation to everything, right? So how can you use one? Let's give an example. I like dogs. They are cute, right? So obviously with a sentence this short and concise, you could probably combine this with simply using a simple conjunction like and, right? But this is just purely for example's sake, and we're looking at it. I like dogs, and then how is this closely related in meaning? The next sentence, they are cute. I like dogs because they are cute, right? That's why it's used this way. But oftentimes I see this. I see like I like dogs, comma, they are cute. And this is absolutely wrong. Why? It's a comma splice, right? It's a run-on, right? It's two sentences, right? Two sentences over here combined with a comma, right? So you should really be careful of that. And one way of fixing that problem is by using a semicolon, right? This was what's known as, when you put this, a comma splice. So another thing to watch out for when you're fixing sentences is, let's say we have something like this, and it gets trickier because they put in adverbial conjunctions. So they have sentences like I like dogs. They do comma. However, I don't own one. Right? I know it's dogs, right? I don't own one. So what's wrong with this? Same thing. Again, this is a run-on, right? It's a comma splice, because why? There's one sentence over here and another sentence over here. And many people think they could use this adverbial conjunction, however, to connect it. Yeah, you connected it, but it's not correct because you need to change the punctuation somewhere. So you could fix it by putting the semicolon here, but then you have to be careful because where you put this semicolon changes the meaning. So I like dogs, the idea is it's done over here, right? New sentence begins here, right? But you could also fix it this way. You could put the semicolon here. So however, is functioning as this part of the sentence over here. I like dogs, however. You could put the adverbial conjunction later on, right? Or in the middle, like you could do I, however, like dogs, right? But in this case, because the semicolon's here, sentence is separate here to however, and I don't own one is a completely different sentence. So you really have to be careful with where you put the semicolon. It could change the meaning. Now let's look at one more way of using semicolon, and this is more advanced. It's usually not used on test prep, right? Because but you can use it in your college essays. I don't want to say college essays, sorry. In college papers or high school papers, right? And usually it's used when things already have a comma inside them. So I'll give you an example sentence. You could say like, I like 3 car companies, right? You can do BMW, Honda, and Kia, right? So I wrote a sentence like this. I like 3 car companies. It explains what the 3 car companies are. And then let's say I want to give more details on where the cars are made, right? So you can have a sentence like, I like 3 car companies, BMW, Honda, and Kia. BMW is from Germany, Honda is from Japan, Kia is from South Korea. And you could tell this is it's hard to read, really, really choppy, because it's just full of short little sentences afterwards. So how can you better use the semicolon to combine all this together? You can do like this by saying like, I like 3 car companies, and then you could do BMW, and then you put a comma, right? BMW, comma, which is from Germany, and then you could do semicolon, right? Semicolon, Honda, which is, actually I should change this. It should be which is in, right? It's headquartered in Germany. Honda, which is in Japan, semicolon, and after that semicolon, used the word and Kia, which is in South Korea. Right? So I combined this. I know it's just a little bit more concise than before, but it makes it a little bit better because all these things are doing, right? Which clauses over here are describing the company before, right? So how can you use a semicolon in a more advanced way? And I told you, I recommend that you don't use this structure in your college essays. I think it'd be really difficult to do unless you're pointing out certain things in a list that has, use it this way. It's going to be more difficult. Right? So each one is describing the thing before it, right? And it's more concise, it's more advanced. Will this come out on test prep? More likely than not. I've seen it in the reading passages, but they'll never ask you questions on it. So this is another way of using a semicolon. Alright, so this one says, Gangnam, once a nondescript pastoral district in Seoul, South Korea, has now become a major tourist attraction. Millions of people visit the city each year. So this question for some of the more practiced kids, will be immediate, right? You'll know right away why one of the answers is wrong, or the first answer, A, is wrong, right? A is wrong because this part over here, what is the sentence structure? And if you don't know the sentence structure, I recommend watching the videos I made before. So sentence structure, what is the sentence structure over here? So let's find the subject, Gangnam, and where's the verb? Verb is here, has, right? Gangnam has now become tourist attraction. Okay, that's one idea, but they connected with a comma over here, right? So this sentence structure should be independent clause, okay, and another independent clause, right? And we know that one's wrong, right? And if you don't know what this is, again, watch the videos. But what this is actually formally known as is a comma splice, right? Comma splice. And I want you to note this. Splice does not mean to cut. Many people think splice is cut, right? But it doesn't mean that. Slice is cut. Slice. Right? Slice means to cut, not split. So this is wrong because why? Over here, millions of people, so it basically means many people visit the city. So it's another sentence. Two sentences combined with a comma is wrong. So that's why A is wrong. Let's look at B. B says attraction, thus making millions of them visit the city each year. Well, this one says, yeah, thus is a reason. As a result, this is the reason. Making millions of them visit. I'd say you don't need the thus, right? In this case, I'm not saying it's absolutely wrong, but thus is, probably unnecessary. Making millions of them. Okay, who's making them do this? Right? Gangnam. Okay, that's fine. But who is them? Right? Who's them? I know you're assuming, oh, it has to be the people over here, right? But it doesn't say this in the sentence because people, it's gone. The tourists are gone. Right? So we wouldn't pick B. What about C? Attracting millions of people visit. Something terribly wrong with that. That's one of the garbage answers. And D, attraction. While millions of people visit the city each year. This is really good, except while means at the same time, simultaneously. So simultaneously, millions of people visit this city each year. And how is that sentence related to the original sentence? Right? It's not, so it can't be D. And the correct answer has to be E. And how do they do this? They combine, one sentence with another sentence that are related in meaning with a semicolon. And that's how you use a semicolon.